and this time I want to share with you the Morgok's Krushas, one of the last warbands for Beastgrave Season 4 of Warhammer Underwrolds. So I have here the cards, and what I have done, I have assembled them all. So I will show you this after talking about the warband. So the cards, we have as well the dedicated cards to the Oruks. Okay, these are not the dedicated cards to the Oruks, sorry. These are the dedicated cards to the Oruks. Okay, here we have them. So we have first the warband. The warband is composed of 3 Oruks, or 3 brutes. Okay, we have, and all of them have a big amount of wounds. Okay, all of them are resisting 5 wounds. So 15 wounds in total we have here. And when they got inspired, what they win is they do more damage, I think. So he's doing damage 3, and no, he's improving movement, and he's winning a second attack. Okay, this guy. This is the guy with the big flail, or how you want to call this thing. Okay. Then we have another, this is the boss. The boss have 3 damage starting, so he's winning a little bit of precision, because he, well, it's passing, I don't know if it's winning precision or not, but it's changing from 2 hammers to 3 swords, so yeah. And is improving the movement, so it's moving from movement 3, this was to movement 4. Okay, and then you have an action that, yeah, how they got inspired. If you accumulate 2 WHU tokens on them, you inspire them. To get WHU tokens, you need to do an attack action. Each time you do an attack action, you win an after this fighter activation, in which they made 1 or more attack actions, place 1 WHU counter on this card. So you inspire them by attacking, and this one can remove 1 WHU, so the boss can remove 1 WHU counter, and then push each friendly fighter 2 X's. Okay, this one after a fighter's activation, which no, this is winning, and then when it's inspired, he can remove a WHU action counter from the card before making an attack, and then you do +1 damage. So he can do damage 4 or 3 with a seething. Okay, so you have 2 types of attacks. And the curious thing is I prefer 2 hammer than 3 swords, but it's curious that it's changing like that. And this one has 3 swords. When it's inspired, what it's winning is 1 movement, no damage. So the inspiration is not that crucial on these ones, and I guess he's winning an ability again. He can remove to have 1. He can remove 1 counter that +1 dice for each one that you remove. Okay, so they are really, well, summarizing, they are quite good in protection. So they are not as some Castellanos. They win a shield. They win a little bit of mobility. So this is really a warband that is designed to go to smash your enemies with damage 3, all of them. They are really strong. So it's a really strong warband that to make they can kill any of the Doctors of Cain in just 1 touch, right? Except the leader. And then we have cards that are all about supporting attacks and helping them in being stronger in close combat. You will see most of them are oriented in that way, and yeah, for example, a reaction. So these are reactions if they got attacked. So they play this when a friendly fighter's range 1 or 2 action after choosing the target, remove any number of WHU counters from that friendly fighter card, +1 damage, so it even can do more damage. This is when this to remove damage when you are being attacked. So you have choose a 1 friendly fighter adjacent to 1 or more enemy fighters, place a 1 WHU counter, so this is to put WHU counter. So all the plots here are good. I was reading them, all are quite good, so I think you can play almost with the objects are also quite good, the upgrades And the objectives, what I have seen so far, are more you score by doing things in common, right? So score this at the end of the phase if there are more surviving friendly fighters than surviving enemy fighters. So this is this is like the same as you to destroy the full enemy warband. The only thing is that score this at the end of the phase if all enemy fighters are out of action. So really you want this if you go for combat. Score this in the end of the phase if your leader is the only surviving leader. Okay, so if you kill the enemy leader mainly is the reason to score this one. So you score this immediately after an activation if there are 6 or more WAF counters. So you receive for WAF, and the WAF you get it by combating and cars. Score this and then the phase if there are more enemy fighters out of action than surviving enemy fighters. Again, it's giving you points for combat. And all of them are combat or related to combat. It's called this immediately on activation if your warband holds one or more. Well, this is the only one for objective. You have to hold objective in enemy territory. Surviving friendly fighters are inspired. For getting inspired, to get inspired you need WAC counters. To have WAC counters you have to do attacks. Score this immediately when a friendly fighter attack action with damage characteristic of 4 or more succeeds. So you want to make 4 damage, you need the extra dice, so you will want, this is quite, you want to add some +1 damage like strength, right? Score this immediately after an activation if your warband holds 2 or more objectives. I think this you don't want to do it. I think it's a warband that really wants to go to smash the enemy. Score this immediately when you play your third or subsequent gambit in this round. Playing gambits, score these fighters out of action. For this end of the phase, if you remove 4 or more WAG counters, so this is for using the WAG. Okay, you can see it's mainly a warband that is designed to go to the combat, and I'm thinking to use it because it looks quite fun to play. And then we have the common cards. Okay, this goes there. We have, and the one that I was a little bit, it's called this immediately feature token, no? This was the one that was looking curious to me, so score this and then phase if there are no objective tokens on the battlefield. I'm thinking if you can do a game around that, right? You do combat and then you put things to destroy objectives. So and this was the one that I don't think is good because it's going to be difficult to destroy all the objectives, but this is the cards. Okay, and now let's make a look to the miniatures. So these are quite big miniatures. You can see, let me compare them to, for example, well, it's the size of the Norgel guys. Okay, so this is one of the Blight Kings, sorry, of the Norgel Warband. You can see same size, and if you compare them to Stormcast Eternal, more or less, even a little bit bigger than the Stormcast Eternal, right? They are more bulky than the Stormcast Eternal, and then you can compare to Elf, okay, to one of the Kurnots, and it's the weapon is completely, in this case, over dimension, and they have very nice details on the musculature. The only thing here I recommend is this one, for example, I glue it. You can see the bright points because I glue it. Because the line goes here in the middle, and I wanted to really be sure that the line is not going to be that visible. The glue will help to make the line less visible. The other thing you have to be take into account, this was the pin on the top was not matching well. At the end I cut it and I glue it, and yeah, and I will not paint the face. So you have, if you can avoid, if you don't want to put the mask, you need to cover these holes, but you can go without the mask because the face is almost completely sculpted under the mask. So, but it's quite surprising. So Really nice one. This is the leader, the one with the top knot, with these two blades and the big armor on top, on the shoulders. Again, a lot of detail, a lot of expressivity on the orc, and this is the other brute. Okay, it's also good armor. So I think they give a good variation to different weapons on each of them, and quite distinctive each of them. Okay, so really a nice warband, a nice miniatures, and I'm quite happy. And it looks a warband that very fun to play. I don't know. Sorry if it's going to be good, but I think I will put them in my painting queue at the one of the, maybe even earlier than the Daughters of Cain, because I'm really interested to play them and see how we'll play a fully combat smashing warband. So this warband is really designed to go for trying to kill your opponents. So yeah, that's all for this review. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Please give a like if you have liked it. Let me know what do you think, and as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later.